Hey guys, it is currently 2:34 in the morning on January 21st, and we're going to go ahead and talk about the 20th. In the morning, I was in a ton of pain. I could barely move for the first 4 hours. Without going into a ton of detail, I have super, super terrible cramps. If you know what I'm referring to, congrats. If you don't, that's fine too. And a lot of times they're more or less debilitating. I do my best to, work through them and just go about my day, but sometimes they're absolutely destructive, and the 20th was definitely a destructive day. I ended up having to use a TENS unit, which is, it's like little pads or something that connect to a little tiny handheld machine sort of thing, and it like pulses, and your body registers those pulses much quicker than it registers pain, generally, so it focuses on that rather than the cramps or any other pain, which is about the only reason I was able to accomplish anything yesterday morning, because I had that on for about 2 hours, after I was no longer laying on the bathroom floor. I felt like I was going to be sick multiple times, and I was tired of making the trip to the bathroom in case I got sick, so I eventually just laid down on the floor for like an hour, and then crawled my way back out here to the living room to attempt to get some work done, but I couldn't focus on writing, so I eventually got the TENS unit. I had the shiatsu massage pillow thing on my thigh because my legs were cramped up. I could barely use my legs as well. And I just attempted to focus on video gaming for a while, which is what I did for about the first 4 or 5 hours of the day. I was miserable. I genuinely thought I was gonna die, and sometimes the pain was so bad that I genuinely thought that I might have like ruptured my appendix or something, because it was terrible. But once I finally got past that, I started with King of Darkness and wrote 816 words there, which is great. That book has been going pretty slow recently. Again, I have a lot of trouble when it comes to the supernatural, paranormal, heavenly, hellish books, because although they're technically a take on Christianity because they feature characters like Lucifer and Michael, and they talk about God, but at this point anyway, we haven't seen God. They have just discussed him, because for the angels, God is their father, and they talk about him. But even though it's technically a play on Christianity, it doesn't like follow the things that are actually believed in the Bible and by Christians and so on and so forth. It's kind of like the same way that Supernatural takes the angels from the Bible and interprets them differently, both in their behaviors and their characteristics, and then God has different perspectives, and so does Lucifer and stuff like that. It's like that. It's not supposed to represent the Bible. It's not supposed to represent a single religion or anything like that. I have no place in that. But because of that play on it and that twist with it and all of that, it makes it kind of difficult to make progress sometimes, because one of my biggest fears is genuinely offending people, because that's not my goal in life. I like writing stories that people can enjoy, and if it's not their cup of tea, that's fine. But even not their cup of tea, my goal isn't to offend people. And so far, historically, the people who have read Man of Darkness, which is a hellish series novella, are not offended by it, but there's also not as much talk about God and the angels in that one. The angels are still featured, Lucifer is still featured in that one, but he's not a main character, so you don't hear a lot about how he fell from heaven, how he ended up in hell, and stuff like that. But in King of Darkness, because Lucifer is the main character, the reader sees a lot more of it and sees a lot of Lucifer's perspective. And I think one of my biggest fears is offending people, and it halts my progress a lot. So those 816 words yesterday, despite the fact that I had spent the first 4 or 5 hours so miserable I could barely move, felt so damn good, and I was so happy with almost every single word that I wrote yesterday in that one. Then I moved on to the gang war, and I wrote 246 words there. I really like writing the Bo Austin stuff, but I just couldn't yesterday. I haven't been keeping track of the things that they have already done in the book so far, and yesterday my knuckles were super sore as well. They still are today, so I wasn't in the mood to handwrite out my notes on what Bo had done forensically, what the bodies looked like, how many bodies there are, how many bullets there are, what caliber the bullets are, stuff like that. So I don't have a list of the things that he needs to tell Jensen about the case. So the only thing I could write was a conversation between Bo and Jensen before Bo is supposed to explain the case to him. And that was the 246 words there. But once I go through and take my notes, I should be able to make more progress there again. I wrote 160 words in Thundering Hooves, which is just a conversation between Bo and Bridget. Primarily talking about why Bridget says no problem instead of you're welcome. Bo's not used to that, although there are several people in his life at this point who do say no problem, but he's never really understood why, so Bridget defines that for him. She's very nice like that. 1,280 words in TE. Very pleased with progress there. 820 words edited in Eves for Gent. 788 words written in TFL, 1,090 in PRV, which is great. I haven't been making a ton of progress in that one either, so that felt pretty great. 360 words written in random book scenes, and then I finally headed to bed around 3 p.m. Because that's when my pain finally died down enough that I could actually lay down and fall asleep. I woke up around 9. Mostly to watch a TV show, otherwise I probably would have kept sleeping. But I added another 414 words in random scenes, and then I edited another 884 words in Eves, and it brings my written total for January 20th to 5,154 words, and it brings my total for January entirely so far to 50,160 words. So we have hit the 50K mark for the month, which is awesome. And overall, I'm very pleased with the progress it has made this month so far. Again, some days are much harder than others. Sometimes because of pain, sometimes because of anxiety, sometimes because of both. Kind of depends on the day, but I'm very, very pleased with the progress I made on the 20th, and I'm happy with the progress I've made overall this month so far. So the game plan for the 21st is primarily to edit several chapters of Eves. I've edited 2 chapters so far. To stay on track to finish by the 31st, I need to edit at least 2 more chapters today, which is the plan before I move on to writing. And then I have to upload this video to Google Photos so that way I can edit it. I've been having a ton of trouble uploading videos to YouTube recently, but I'm hoping that I can finally upload some videos today. I think I have at least 2 that need to be uploaded, and this would make 3, I think. But hopefully that gets sorted out and I can actually upload again, but we'll see. But otherwise, that's all that I have. Main game plan for the 21st, again, is to edit Eves and then start doing some writing for the day after I get through these next 2 chapters to stay on top of things and stay on track. And if all goes well with writing for the 21st, I'll come back around and do more editing before 11 o'clock on the 21st, before my rest hour. But that is all that I have for January 20th. If you enjoyed this video, a like is always appreciated, and if you'd like to stay updated on my writing, my editing, the gaming videos I upload roughly every Friday, or anything that I do on the channel in between, feel free to subscribe. All the links to my authors pages, as well as links to my social media, are in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.